Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. Maple sugar is the name and boiling is the game. Tell us about your sweet operation, Tyler.
We've been making syrup since 1963. My grandfather moved to the Sunapee area in 1948, was intrigued by the neighbor down at Sanctuary Farm and their makings of maple syrup, and actually eventually took over their sugar house. I was born March 1st, so kind of right at the beginning of maple, and I think I was addicted since day one. So I've always really had a passion for maple, and kind of a dream of mine growing up was to always own my own sugar house. In 2019, my father and I kind of made the jump and decided to build our own sugar house here on property that we own adjacent to the family farm, which is just up the hill. We built the building with the ambition to have people come enjoy the sights and smells of maple syrup in a building that was still traditional, but had finally hit the modern times. We have walls that you can't see through. So there's a lot of aspects to our new building that have made it much more enjoyable for me and my family and everybody else to make maple syrup and enjoy maple syrup. We decided to maintain our kind of more of a traditional evaporator here with the open top so that you could enjoy the steam, enjoy the smells, which you are a little more limited if you have a hood and kind of encase that evaporator in stainless steel, so you capture that steam and send it outside the building. Our operation, we have 2,500 taps in 2 different orchards. All of our taps are on pipeline, all of our taps are on vacuum. We're trying for high vacuum, and under high vacuum, if we can hit anything above 0.4 gallons of syrup per tap, we're in a pretty good spot. Our sap we just collected, it was 1.8% sugar, and at 1.8% sugar it takes 50 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. With that, we use a reverse osmosis machine to reduce that ratio, and we're currently reducing it to 10% sugar, and in doing so, that 50-to-1 ratio is now down to a 8.6-to-1 ratio. And that 8.6-to-1 has now reduced our time here in the sugar house and the amount of wood that we are burning. And what the reverse osmosis machine is doing is it's actually separating the water molecule from the sugar molecule. Water is H2O, sugar is C6H12O6, so it's a much larger molecule. And under high pressure, we're separating that larger sugar molecule from the water molecule and creating distilled water as our byproduct and a concentrated sugar with the minerals and nutrients from that sap as our product that we're introducing to our evaporator here. On an average, we're adding wood every 7 minutes to our evaporator to maintain the heat that we want and evaporate as much water as we can. The concentrated sap, or 10% sugar sap, coming into the evaporator, comes into the evaporator through the float. This white pipe, we're trying to maintain about 2 inches of sap in the evaporator at all times. Anything lower gets a little bit scary. And the syrup pan, again, we have 5 chambers. Those 5 chambers are going from low concentration to higher sugar concentration until we hit about 67% sugar, where we have syrup. From there, we will take that raw syrup, run it through a filter press, introducing diatomaceous earth as our filter aid. Once it runs through that filter press, we have a nice clear syrup that we put into our canner, where we can then bottle our syrup into half pints, gallons, half gallons, and everything in between. This is what we've made on our first day of the season, which was a golden delicate. And then we've made everything from amber rich to dark robust. And this is a very dark here. And then we're slowly climbing back out again. We're hoping to try to hit amber rich again. part of that, each grade is a flavor aspect, and that flavor aspect is determined mostly by time of year. That sugar, that lighter, delicate flavor is masked with that heavier maple flavor. Personally, I like the darker of the two. I like the dark robust and the very dark, as it has that stronger maple flavor. So we are traditionally open every weekend in March, typically about 4, and then we do about 2 weekends in April, all dependent on the season. Our hours typically are 10 to 4:30 on Saturday and Sunday, and then during the week it's kind of by chance if we're boiling, so it's best to give us a call or give us an email, and we can set up an appointment for you to come out and pick up some maple syrup. In the off season, we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram account, and then our website is hardinghillfarm.com.
Thank you, Tyler. A lot has changed in their sugar house since that last video. This year, they have a new evaporator and several completed renovations at the sugar house. They're open every weekend in March, but March 15th and 16th is this area's Maple Weekend celebration. Harding Hill will have an outdoor food truck, pancake breakfast, and a BBQ lunch. They will have a heated tent for seating, so stop in and enjoy. I'd like to tip my hat to Tracy Memorial Library here in New London for hosting us these 4 weeks. As a publicly supported library, they provide free and equal access to information for every person in our community. Next week, we'll hear from Ashley Rowley, the Executive Director of the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce, who will join me for a wrap on their annual meeting and announcement of this year's winners. We'll get an update on the proposal for a new police facility in Wilmot. And we'll hear about the selection show now hanging at the Library Arts Center in Newport. We'll close with the first of 3 in a series introduced by Hannah Flanders called Food Connects. Tune into our live game of the week as we cover tournament basketball. You can find the games on Comcast 8, TDS TV 13 and 1013, and at ycnnow.com and on-demand replays anytime. Check out the program schedule at ycnnow.com for the most up-to-date information on games, Yankee Chronicle, Cougar Chronicle, and specials. Join us again next week at the same time for another round of your Who, What, Where, and When show of the Lake Sunapee region. I'm Abby Peel. Stay warm, everyone.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. Main Street Bookends of Warner, for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.